The history of Open Door Community House is very rich, with people of great faith who have spent a great deal of time and energy and resources to make these ministries work. We are thrilled with the history we have with Ms. Weta Watts Matthews, Ms. Ralph King, Mr. Scrimpture, and others, mostly out of St. Luke United Methodist Church, who worked tirelessly to create the ministries in a little cottage behind Hamp Stevens Methodist Church at that time to start a day nursery for children whose parents were working in the textile mills of that day.
These were children that lived in the vicinity, in the community, and I would go in my car in the mornings and pick one up at the time and have to climb a clay bank because none of the streets in this area were even paved. So I would pick a child up and bring her to Open Door.
It served the community and it had lots of wonderful programs. Through the years, I have seen those programs strengthened, I've seen them grow. I've seen Open Door still keep that great family atmosphere that serves generations.
And so here we are nearly 80 years later still providing that after-school care for kids. And it was important to them, to our founders, and since then. It was been important in part of our ministries that the children are cared for and the children and their families know that Christ loves them. And so from the beginning we've been serving as the hands and feet of Christ to the community to usher in hope and to usher in an opportunity for these children that otherwise they simply might not have had. Our vision statement is to eliminate poverty in our community. People ask all the time, do you really think you can eliminate poverty? And we really do feel like that we have a God-sized vision and a God-sized task, and we may not get there in our lifetimes, but it gives us something to really work toward. Serving as an incarnational ministry, meaning serving literally as the hands and feet of Christ, means that we don't just talk about what we do as much as we try to put action to what we feel like God is calling us to do.
Many of the people that come to programs may not live in walking distance, where they did in the 1930s when it was started. They come now through other means, but they still serve a surrounding neighborhood. But relevance, ability to react very quickly, programs that reflect what's important in today's society is what I've seen Open Door continue to be.
We have an opportunity to not only provide mercy ministries, if you will, so some food, some basic needs, but even more so, we have an opportunity to really deal with the systems that keep people in poverty. And so when we serve as the hands and feet of Christ, we feel like we're providing both the proverbial fish for the next meal and the way to find fish for the rest of your life. Circles in Columbus is our newest initiative, and it is a citywide initiative to help people who live in poverty truly create a path to move beyond.
I first became involved with the program when it was just known as the Getting Ahead program. There was a workbook, Just Getting Ahead and the Just Getting By World. It was 15 weeks. We met once a week.
Persons who are called circle leaders go through a program called Circle Leader Training for 15 weeks. There, they're able to learn about resources that they have, as well as resources that they'd like to build. When they complete that program, they are then eligible to move into the Fuller Circles model, and that's where they are partnered with people called allies, who are volunteers from the community. And together, whether that be 3 or 4 in their group, they are able to spend at least 18 months together implementing that plan.
And we kind of worked through and talked about different things. We talked about 11 different resources, language, we talked about finances, emotions, physical, and all of those things attributing to poverty.
So they're able to go back to school. Many of them work on job-related skills. Some of them work on their health. Some work on building spiritual resources.
And we share one thing with each other that is new and good that has happened with us or to us within the last week. Then following that, we have time to meet with our individual circles. That would be the circle leader meeting with their allies, the 2 or 3 individuals who they're paired with, who provides them with support.
And the goal is to be able to implement that plan to move out of poverty. Your allies serve as your motivators, your coaches, the people who are going to stand beside you as you walk through that very difficult process.
These women, Meg, Olive, and Miss Kim, and all these people that are involved in circles, they really prayed about who to put with who. And so my allies were so perfect for me, and it was just, God had his hand all in circles.
And what we see is that a lot of people are joining that program or asking to be a part of that program because they say, I don't want my children to have to deal with what I had to live with. They are very hopeful that they can be the stopgap so that their children will not be another generation growing up in poverty. The transition home is a 12-bed facility where we have the opportunity to have 12 residents at any given time, all women, unaccompanied. They can stay with us for up to 2 years. So during that time, we are working on anything that might have led to homelessness, stabilizing their situation, giving them new tools and resources. The goal for all of them would be a return to permanent housing and self-sufficiency.
What they offer us to help us get a job, they do vouchers for us getting clothes that we don't have, and we just go pick out things and we voucher. If a work schedule is after 9, say 10 or 11, they will get you a taxi, and they vouch for that. Anything you need, anything. If you want to go back to school, like me, I'm fixing to go back into my CNA. They pay for it. I did a class, get my certification, and we start looking for jobs. Your counselors, they have pulled me from down here to up here. And I don't miss an appointment at all, because that's how much they help you. In their heart, you have a lot of hope, love, peace in this. All these women go to church. That's big in here. Let me tell you, it's just like a big old home. It's just like a big old home. And they're helping you every step of the way.
The case management program supports that program and other shelters in Columbus and Phoenix City both that serve homeless women and women with children. They have the opportunity to go into each shelter and to work with the women one-on-one to set a case plan to help them with job search skills, with work skills, with medical stabilization, mental health stabilization, anything it would take to be able to stabilize her situation and reunite that family, hopefully, back into permanent housing and also to work towards self-sufficiency. Our community ministries include chaplaincy, which is one-on-one with our chaplain, John Bullineau, where they can have their spiritual needs met. There's prayer, there's Bible study in most of our ministries. There's an opportunity for him to learn what the real problems are in their lives that they would like to address. So for some, there's simply not enough food in the home, and so we can make referrals and connect to resources for that. For others, it really is a spiritual crisis in their lives, and so he's able to meet with them in that place one-on-one and help provide some guidance and some care and concern as they walk through that together. The Matthews Promise Academy is the longest continuously running program that we have here. It started with Ms. Weta Watts Matthews and others back in 1935, and it's been going ever since then. And so we serve children who live in families of federal poverty guidelines or below, which is very low. And so we take the children and their families and we help provide educational opportunities and resources to connect them to things that would help these children set a foundation to not become the next generation living in poverty. We focus a lot on not only building spiritual resources, so Bible study and devotions every day, but we particularly focus also on reading development. We know that so many children who live in poverty have verbal skills that are less developed than some other children, and so we work hard on reading development. We have a reading program. We have a Compass computer program that gives an individualized learning path for each child. So we do a lot of one-on-one work.
You see the children come in, and in 3 months' time, they are reading so well that it just warms your heart to think that that little touch, personal touch, can mean so much to a child.
We also have an institute, which we call the Open Door Institute, which is the educational component of who we are. And so we're able to provide computer classes, life skills classes, and most recently we've instituted the GED, which is a fantastic partnership with Columbus Technical College. There's a huge need in the community that we serve just to get the GED to be able to obtain the kind of employment that would hopefully bring you living wage income, and that's what we're seeking there. The Senior Adult Program, which is affectionately called Golden Agers, provides an opportunity for persons age 50 and over to come on Mondays and have a lunch. We're usually provided by a church or UMW group. They have a program. They love bingo. They do Bible study and gospel singing and all kinds of wonderful things. And then our chaplain, who coordinates that program, takes them out 2 to 3 times a month on special activities. Sometimes that might be going fishing, sometimes it's for shopping, which they love Walmart, and going out for a special lunch. And they love the opportunity to get out and fellowship together. The Culinary Arts Training Program we've been doing since 2008, and that's an incredible opportunity for us to prepare people for the up-and-coming employment opportunities in Columbus and in this region, which is hospitality and food services, but for the next level up. And so we are providing life skills classes in a Christian environment, partner that with working in the commercial kitchen at Feeding the Valley Food Bank with an executive chef to do skills so that when they leave, and they're Serve Safe certified when they leave our program, hopefully, then they have an opportunity for living wage employment, which is the goal. The showering program for the homeless is rather unique to this area, and it's a program simply for persons who are unsheltered and living on the street to get what they need to have a shower, breakfast, a change of clothes. Mostly for us, that's undergarments at this point. They get to have an opportunity to wash and dry their clothes, to get a haircut if they want. The goal of that program is really to help people become more employable. So we are connecting them to the Department of Labor, to other resources that have the opportunity to connect them to work resources. And so with enough income, they can end their homelessness.
As far as, taking a shower, they got a place that you can go. Open Door provide that for us. So most of all, I want to say thank you.
Without you, this simply wouldn't happen. And we know that there is still much work to be done. You've supported us for all these many years, and you've given us the opportunity to be the hands and feet of Christ in this community. And it's because of you that we are able to do that. But don't stop. We have a lot of work yet to be done. We hope that you'll continue to partner with us as we minister here in the Columbus area, that you'll support us through volunteer work. There are plenty of opportunities to do that here at Open Door. And certainly we invite you to continue to participate, providing your hygiene items and undergarments and the other items that you provide that give us the undergirding to be able to provide the things that are necessary for the people that we serve. I can't thank you enough for all the many ways that you've supported us through prayer support, through volunteer support, and through monetary donations. We thank you. We thank you for your support, and we thank you for your prayer. We thank you for your encouragement.